is for you.
What's going on, you guys? Can you hear me? Are we live? Are we good?
We good.
We
Game
good.
day.
We good. It is beautiful. This was the longest bye week ever. You know what I'm saying?
Forever,
But
man.
we got to do the ritual. It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. You know what it is, guys. It's Philly the podcast. I got my boy Shaky B in here. Say what up to the people.
Let's go. Game day.
Shout out to Stephen Joyce in here. Nody Gang. Tyler Stickman, what up? Oh, snap. Let's get it. Yo, it's Eagles week, man. This is the second one. About to be 9 in a row. I'm feeling
hyped.
good.
I'm hyped. The Eagles are on TV, too, here in Connecticut. Man, I can't. It's so much better than streaming. Love it.
Yeah, so you guys are going to have to. We're in a group chat, so you're going to have to be a little bit slower because, you know,
okay.
I'm in Florida.
I'll just wait for you to respond or something. Then I'll be like, oh.
Exactly. But I'm excited, man. First off, what are you looking for? What's some things that you're excited to see today? It feels like we've been off for like 3 weeks, you know?
Maybe a win.
Yeah, right? Seriously.
Because if we lose this, oh my God. I think we're still a half game up, if I'm not mistaken. But that ain't comfortable. We have the toughest stretch going on right after this game. So if we lose this game, we're losing leverage, and that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely should blow these boys out, man. Like I said, this is about to be 9 in a row. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep that streak going. It's not like they've gotten any better. They have been playing tougher games, closer games. I'll give them that. They haven't been getting blown out by any means, but I believe their last 3 losses have been, by a combined score of 6 points, I think is the difference right now. But they are still losses. So we still have to win this game. But, we're getting healthy, man. We got Dallas Goedert coming back, Alshon coming back, Lane is good, JP, I think, is back, Isaac Sayamalu's back. It's looking like the Eagles.
I don't think Isaac's playing.
No? I'm pretty sure.
I thought I saw yesterday saying that he's not ready yet. But I could be wrong. Unless, I think Pryor, maybe.
That sucks. Because, I saw Nate Herbig at right guard. And Sayamalu at left guard. But hopefully,
if you saw that today, then maybe I'm wrong. But from what
I think I saw that like yesterday.
What I saw, it said that he wasn't ready. But someone in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong.
I'm sure they'll tell us. But so who are you looking forward to see? Isaac is not playing. Look at that. That was quick.
There it is. See?
That was quick. But who are you looking forward to play, coming back, their return?
I want to see Carson ball out. I mean, I know that's the easy answer, but he's had a week off. He got to go hunting. He got to talk to Jesus a little bit. And, I'm hoping that he's going to come back, and I don't need him to have 500 yards. I just need him to not turn the ball over at least once this game. He's had games where he's thrown for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles. I want something like that, even if it's like 2 touchdowns. I just don't want any turnovers. That just demoralizes the whole game.
Yeah, no, like I said, I want to see a blowout, man. I'm not trying to see no close game. I want to be doing my homework by halftime, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not trying to see anything close, no comebacks, nothing. Like Carson, Carson is the easy answer, but he is the solid answer. We have to see it out of him. This is about, even though we don't have Isaac, this is about as healthy as our offensive line has been, man. This is what we signed up for. Like I said, big shout out to Devil Wolf. What up? But this is what we signed up for, man. I want to see Jalen Reagor ball out personally. Like
that would be dope.
Jalen, I know.
I want to see Alshon catch a couple too. He does that in the red zone. He's been one of Carson's favorite targets. He does that whole get to the back of the end zone and run across, and Carson hits him 90% of the time. So I want to see something like that today. Get Alshon involved.
Yeah, I mean, I started Reagor over Alshon right now, so. I'm hoping
I hear
Reagor, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to what is wrong with my QB. Says, Doug plays down to the competition. So we'll see. That's going to be a big deal right now. If he has to come out, he has to be aggressive, but not overly aggressive. I feel like we ask a lot, but it is what it is. We're fans. We see it from a different perspective. So,
right.
But I want to see him, take chances when it's warranted.
So
If it's the first quarter, that's not the time. Go ahead.
with that being said, with his aggressiveness, knowing that, because I saw this stat the other day, and it's actually pretty appalling that Jake Elliott is the worst graded kicker in the NFL right now. And his field goal percentage is at 66.7, which is tied for second in the second worst in the NFL. So do you really are we looking for the easy point sometimes on fourth down when we are in field goal range? Or are we just not trusting Jake right now? We're just going to floor it and just go for it.
I think it's Doug just being overly aggressive. I've said this before. I think, don't get me wrong, Jake has to make the kicks, and I know you're going to say that's all he does at practice. That is all he does. But you have to go and put your kicker out there. He's never out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that kills your confidence. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not hey, my coach is just, he's aggressive, so I'm going to take my chances when I can. But he never knows. He never knows when he's going to actually go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and you can't go into the playoffs with the mindset that we don't have a kicker. Like, we have a kicker. We have to get him going just like any other player on the team. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very important. Infamous says J-Jaw is inactive for this game, and Nathan Gary is still on IR. What a great Sunday.
Hey,
that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice.
We're gonna miss J-Jaw's blocking though. He can block. he block. I'm serious though. He's blocking downfield. Some of those big plays, you see him, and then he celebrates with the team. But yeah, I think someone said that we typically hold 5 receivers, so it's just the odd man out with Alshon there now, and with other players playing well.
I'm glad it's J-Jaw though. So I saw it was gonna be Alshon, Rager at slot. And then they had Travis Fulgham on the other side. So that should be interesting. And then obviously we have Dallas Goedert back.
All right.
I think. I mean, I thought we had.
No, he should be playing. He played up before the bye, so he should be extra healthy right now.
It says Alshon can block too, so we cool. Devil Wolf says, I think the score will be 27-10 Eagles. I would take that. And it depends on how it looks. If we score 17 points again in the fourth quarter, that's not what I'm looking for. If it's like 21-10, come halftime, and then we just it's a 6-0 game in the second half, and we're just running the ball. That's what I want to see. I want to see us just dominate from the beginning. Isaac Sayamalu was activated but had first team reps all week. I'm confused. That's what I'm saying. He was practicing with the first team, so
I'm assuming whatever his injury is, kind of like with Lane Johnson a week ago, or 2 weeks ago at this point, is that he was getting prepared to play, but then his knee started swelling up. So I'm assuming whatever injury Isaac had, maybe whatever joint or whatever it is, just didn't feel right come Friday. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's why they have that 21-day practice window or whatever.
Yeah, hopefully he's good next week. And we don't need to rush him back. I mean, obviously we would love to have him back, but not at 80%. Let's get him to 100% and let's get this season going. They said, I think Carson's stats will be 383 yards passing, 40 yards rushing, 2 TDs, 1 interception, and 0 fumbles. Depending on how that interception looks, I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, if it bounces off a receiver's hands, interception, fine. But like I just said 5 minutes ago, I want a clean game from Carson. Yeah. You can subtract 100 yards and give me that no interceptions. I'd be happy with that.
And let me ask you a question. Do you think this is going to be his best wide receiving core that he's had even since 2017? Is this better than the 2017 core that he had?
I mean, you would think that we got a Torrey Smith that was a little older, maybe a little wiser, but he wasn't Torrey Smith of his younger years. So you would assume that having guys like Rager or Hightower with that speed can keep people honest. And then, we got to see what Alshon's like. Is it 2017 Alshon, or is it I'm just coming off an injury Alshon? I'm still a little timid. I need to get warmed up. I've lost some weight, and I need to feel what it feels like to get hit. So, I mean, if Alshon plays well, then Travis keeps playing well, and Rager, you could say that this is better than 2017. Although during that time, Nelson Aguilar was the number 3 receiver, and he plays super well being that role, because that's where he flourishes. That it's not being the number 1. So we just got to see a little bit more. But I like what I see so far.
I want to see what Rager does in the slot. This is not a good. They're not a terrible defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that number 1 pass rusher. They don't have that real number 1 cornerback or anything like that. But they play well. and
Yeah.
they have good stunts on the defensive line that kind of makes up for the lack of that true pass rusher, like I said. So I mean, on paper and looking at the records, obviously it's one of those games that we all think that we should blow them out. But this is not a terrible team. So me saying that we should blow them out is more so that I have confidence that we're a way better team than we've seen in the first half.
I know that Blake Martinez for them has been playing well at the linebacker position, getting people in the places that they need to be. So, I mean, we just need to be able to run the ball well and keep at it. Unlike when we played the Cowboys, like at Boston Scott. I mean, now we got Miles Sanders back. So that's an upgrade right there. And Boston Scott, 3 carries, 45 yards, and then the run disappeared. So Doug needs to stick with it. If you go 3 and out one drive because you ran the ball 3 times in a row, I'm fine with that. Establish a run, make them know that you're going to run the ball, then play action over the top. That's what you want to do.
That is true. He said, no, they do have a number 1 corner in James Bradbury. We should have got him. But, yeah, he has been playing well. I feel like their defense is, I don't want to say underrated because it is what it is. They give up a good amount of points, but they play well. Like I said, they are coached well and they play well. They have a good scheme. So, but last time, Carson Wentz had a lot of open opportunities last time we played them.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that big play that he got to Hightower. It was like a 50-yard bomb. We're going to have opportunities like that because they do play a little bit aggressive. They play a little bit aggressive on defense. So we're going to have opportunities to bomb that the passing game. So we have to do it.
I mean,
They're
even
25th in passing defense, though, and James Bradbury is not guarding every wide receiver we have.
There it is. I mean, the score shouldn't have been as close as it was when we played them last. We gave up so many red zone points that we were going for it on 4th down. We weren't getting the field goal. We missed field goal. We were throwing interceptions, and all this stuff was happening. And we only scored like 2 out of 5 times in the red zone or something like that. That can't happen. If we score 4 times, the score is not 22-21 or 23-22, whatever the 1 point was. It's a bigger margin and you're feeling more comfortable. We had the opportunities, just didn't take advantage of it like we've been doing in years past, where we've been pretty much the last couple of years top 5 or top 10 in the red zone. So we got to continue that. We got to bring that back. Can't run out of plays.
Yeah, seriously. Oh God. If I hear that again, man, I just want to hear. I want to hear a positive press conference after where like people are like, this is what we fixed. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Right. Not sure I told you this, but 87% of our targets in the red zone is to our tight ends. So with Goddard, we'll be more successful. Okay. Hopefully, that's what you want to think.
Got Goddard.
And that's what I feel like we were missing from Ertz. Ertz was just giving up on plays way too much. I think there was a lot of plays that were left on the field, you know what I'm saying, especially in the red zone. And like you said, not taking those 3 points. That's when if you're not down by like 8 points and you're like, if you're not trying to make a comeback, there's really no need to continuously go for it. Like, just take your points, man. If it's going to be, if it's going to be 7-3, take that. Okay. We move the ball. Let's not make it a wasted possession, because that's what it becomes. It basically is like you punted.
You score,
exactly.
And now it's 10-7. So
exactly, you just have to build momentum, and that's the one thing I think that Doug, he does well sometimes, but a lot of times he does not. Both tackles back today. Yeah, it's gonna be big, man.
And I saw that Trent Thomas, he was on Twitter and he was hyped up because Lane Johnson is finally gonna wear a brace on his knee, and he feels like that all linemen should be wearing brace on their knees. He goes, it doesn't slow you down, it doesn't hurt your movement. If anything, it just protects you, especially at the tackle position when you're shuffling all around trying to make sure. So hopefully this helps Lane, and Lane can stay good, and Jason Peters throughout the whole game. I can already see Jason limping off at halftime and maybe coming back. He was struggling against the Cowboys a little bit. There was that one moment I was like, oh, there he goes. But he managed to finish off the game. So hopefully that happens too. Yeah,
and big shout out to my boy Bobby. We're going against his Green Bay Packers pretty soon. Can't wait for that. I know we're going to win that game, So, but yeah, shout out to Infamous. I definitely agree with this. Use Jalen Hurts a little more. Give the defense mixed signals on what to expect. Maybe a flea flicker. Just be creative. I agree. And, being creative doesn't mean keep running the Philly special, you know what I'm saying? Or doing 10 different types of, reverses. It's just changing up the looks. You know what I mean? Changing up the personnel to, like he said, give the defense mixed signals. I would love to see them use more of Jalen Hurts. Last time I seen the Eagles defense and offense play well on the same page game was the Vikings. Very true. Very true. And that's what we need. We need both sides of the ball to play well. And a lot of people give Nick Foles all this credit. All he did was not turn over the ball. That's what we need from Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz can make way more plays than Nick Foles ever could. You know what I'm saying? As far as like his pure skill base. But we need Carson to be more consistent. More consistent. That's what we need. Bobby says big L for y'all December 6th. It's lit. Yeah, no, he's talking about the Packers.
That's fine. That's fine. We can discuss that. Have him on the show then.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when that time comes. But I mean, we're getting healthy, man. This is a big game. I feel like this is a big game to be excited for. So
I do feel like the Packers are trying. They need some revenge against us because we've stolen like the last 2 meetings against them. Where I think last year we played them and we beat them because they decided to throw the ball 4 times at the goal line instead of run the ball. And then the year before that, I think we beat them too. So,
and they kind of sparked a run for us. We weren't that good last year.
Right.
That was a big game for us. So let me ask you a question. Right now, do you think that the division is the Eagles to lose?
For sure. I've thought about this since before the season started. We're the only team with coaching continuity. Yeah, we might have some newer pieces that are just mixed in there for whatever reason, since we don't have an official OC, but we still have Doug Peterson, our head coach, Deuce Staley, the assistant head coach, and the rest of our coaches, our offensive line coach, defense. Like we still have shorts. Like we have all that continuity, whereas the Giants, Washington, Cowboys all had new head coaches, new defensive coaches. Like they have all these brand new coaches. So this division was meant for, at least this year, meant for us to show what continuity looks like and that we can hold the lead in this division. It wasn't what I envisioned. I didn't envision us being 3-4-1, holding the division lead. But you win today, you're 4-4-1. That sounds a little bit better. And you go into next week. This is the Eagles' division to lose.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be above 500. You know what I'm saying? It'll feel good. It might be by 0.5, but it's above 500. Infamous says Packers are like 27th or 26th in rushing defense, and Miles Sanders before injury, he had 3rd most yards in the NFL, but 16th in carries. Miles is special. That is very true. Bobby's gonna, I love my boy Bobby, man, but you gonna learn today. You're gonna learn a little something about these Eagles, man. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I keep harping on, we're getting our people back at the right time. It really just falls on our coaching. I know Philly Notion was on here the other day, killing that point. We have to get our coaching right. It has to be consistent. Yeah, we got to figure out what works, and we got to continuously do that, and change it up inside of that scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like what we've seen lately is just like repetitive. It's been boring, and it hasn't obviously worked on a consistent basis. And I don't know who's calling the plays when we're making these comebacks, but let that guy keep calling plays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see more slants, more out routes. When we played the Giants 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the first couple plays were quick plays to Deshaun Jackson. Like it was a quick out, it was a hitch. It was like quick plays. And then we went on that drive and we did well. That's what we need to see. We need to see the ball out of Carson's hand quick, get a rhythm going, make the defense creep up, make them honest, run the ball, and then eventually play action over the top. Maybe you hit them with a sluggo, slant and go. What we get beat on a lot on. Let's do it to other teams. Let's get the momentum going and develop big plays. We can't just come out the gate. I swear to God, if Doug calls, all right, first play of the game, just bomb it and see what happens. Like, I'm going to be mad. I've seen it happen before. Like, we don't need to do that. Let's get a rhythm going, quick plays, run the ball, and then get to the big plays.
What up, Jason? He said, what up, fellas? Question. Do you guys feel if the Eagles don't win the division, it is time to do a coaching change? It's possible, man. Like, it depends on how it looks. Like, if it's a whole slew of injuries again, it's hard to really say, yeah, definitely. But if we're getting the people back like we are, and we can't make the right decisions, and you can say that as a coach, if you don't have your personnel, it affects your play calling. I think that's fair to say.
Right.
But once you get your players back, if it's the same thing, then yeah, it's time to maybe not Doug Peterson, but like
That's what I was gonna say.
there's definitely going to be some changes, and there's definitely going to be some shifts in power at the very least. But what do you think?
I agree. I don't think it would be Doug Peterson that would be changed. His resume speaks for itself. So even with a bad year, it's okay. I know the NFL has been, what have you done for me lately? But lately, he's been to the playoffs 3 or 4 out of 5 years. He's won the division 3 out of 5 years. He's won a Super Bowl within the last couple of years. He's not going anywhere. But what I could see is getting an offensive coordinator, like an actual official offensive coordinator. I can see some of those guys that are just there gone. And maybe depending on the defensive plays. Honestly, the defense has been keeping us in games the last couple of weeks. So I was on that Jim Schwartz fire train. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. But right now, the defense has been saving us because with the amount of turnovers our offense, a.k.a. Carson, has been giving up, we could be down in these games like how the Cowboys were letting up like 40 points a game. Like our defense has been allowing us the chance to stay in these games. So, yeah. So to answer Jason's question, I could see some coaching changings, but nothing that would be noticeable to the naked eye. Like only like if you're a true fan that you would pay attention, you would know. But from the outside looking in, you probably wouldn't even notice the difference.
Yeah, we definitely need an offensive coordinator. I think that's about as clear as day. But Infamous says, how you guys feel about Josh McCown on this coaching staff?
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like him and Carson had a good relationship. McCown has been around the league, has been in the NFL for years. And I don't think he's one to, like, I'm sure he's like, he'll be buddy, but I don't believe he'll be one to just sit around and be like, oh, you'll get him next time, buddy. Like, I feel like he would be someone that would get into Carson on a trustworthy level. But I mean, I don't know. It could be buddy, or it might not work out.
Yeah, I'm tired of our QB coach right now. He's apparently not doing anything because he's not teaching anybody anything.
He ain't pressing nobody.
Exactly. Yeah, Press Taylor needs to go. He needs to press that eject button because it's time to move on. I would love to see him as you know, and I think personally, I really don't see Deuce being here next year. I just felt the only thing that we have as a leverage for him is that we would get picks if he went and got another job, which to me makes no sense, but that would happen. So that's the only leverage that I could see a team saying, like, never mind, you know, we won't hire him, which kind of sucks. But he has so much opportunities. And last year, I feel like he could have left. So we're definitely going to be making some changes. And like you said, it might not be so evident, like, so, you know, just cut and dry. It might just be some little moves that we see. Our defense is 3rd in pass rush, 4th in pass defense. Is that a fraud because we only have played 2 good QBs?
It could be. I mean, like we've been saying that this first half of the season was meant for us to really get the momentum going and have a great record. Right now, we wasted those opportunities against the Bengals, against Washington. I mean, the Ravens and Steelers were tough games. So you figured that we wasted our opportunities really with Washington and the Bengals. But now we're going into gear with real good teams. We're going Saints, Packers, Cardinals. Which one am I missing there? I know Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks. So let's see what our defense looks like after those games, and then we can really talk. Because, like you said, it is a little bit fraud because we played a lot of NFC East.
And our defense is so weird because, like, even last year, you look at we gave up like 37 points to the Cowboys, and then we gave up 17 with a worse defense. You know, like on paper, more people were hurt. So who knows? I think, you know, like I said, it comes down to coaching again there too. There just has to be better game plans. And to his credit, to Jim Short's credit, he has been better these past couple games. I will give him that. I can't. Oh, shout out to my guy, Why Sway.
Hey.
Where have you been, bro? We miss you. I was just telling Brandon, we haven't seen Why Sway. If Why Sway ain't in here, it ain't real, you know? Shout out to Jason again. Question: do you think the biggest mistake was letting go Nick Foles? And if Nick was on the team, do you feel no.
No. Do you not see what Nick Foles has been doing since he's left Philly? Like these people will come up with these questions and they're just obvious answers. They're just looking for a reaction, Jason. But he hasn't done anything. And it looks like the Bears are struggling with Nick Foles. Like there's people on ESPN saying maybe it's time to go back to Mitch Trubisky. That just speaks in it for itself. I mean, he has a healthy offense pretty much with Allen Robinson and doing too much. And what is he going to do with the offense that we had without Alshon, without Rager, without Deshaun Jackson? There's no way Nick Foles would have been able to survive with that offensive line and not being mobile like at least Carson is. He might not turn the ball over as much, but it might have been more sacks for all we know.
Big shout out to Eagles season. I see you, brother. What's good, my man? Hey, yo, good job on the Philly Notion live.
Hey,
man. That was really
dope,
man. Yeah, me and my boy was talking. Me and Brandon, I was talking about. I said my boy like you ain't here. But shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Make sure to go over and like that. If you are new, hit that subscribe. I think Nick Foles is the same situation Matt Nagy letting someone else call the game Monday. Yeah, you know, everything comes with Nick Foles has Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney. Imagine him with a guy named Jay Joe. Alshon is back today. Yes, Alshon is back today. We're very excited. Like, I mean, we can be a totally different team. You know, I've said hundreds of times, it's hard to evaluate your team when you don't have your team. So this is as close to healthy as we're probably going to get this year.
Facts.
You know, so I saw on another channel, I'm trying to remember their name now, Sports Talk with Brody. He brought up a good question that I want to ask you. He basically said, would you rather have one guaranteed Super Bowl in 10 years and the rest of the years are just kind of up in the air? Or would you rather have 10 years of consistent success and no guarantees? And to go even deeper, someone said basically, would you rather be the Giants when they got their 2 Super Bowls and sucked for the rest of the time? Or would you rather be the Saints when they got their 1 Super Bowl, but were consistently good, just never did anything else again?
I think. Wow. Honestly, I'll probably go with the Giants. I'd probably want the rings. If you're using the Giants as an example where you got 2 in that time frame and then you stunk after that, then yeah, I'll go with that. But if you're only talking 1, then I mean, like, I don't know. We got 1 and we've been kind of consistent and we've been like at least been able to not be too depressed and we've made playoffs. And even if you're not winning in the playoffs, it's fun to be there. It's one bragging right to the division. It gives you something else to cheer for. And it's an accomplishment in and itself. Like having to have a down season every single year would just be boring. And like you would have nothing to look forward to. But then again, then you wouldn't get the great draft picks or anything like that. But I'd probably go with the Saints. I'd do that. I like the consistency, at least being able to be like, at least we made it, at least we're there, and we can look forward to another year and be like, all right, we're just missing that one piece, and hopefully, if it doesn't come, well, we're still there and celebrating at least a little bit.
Now, let me go even deeper with it to keep it Eagles related. To keep it Eagles related, would you rather have the Andy Reid era, where we were consistently good, right? We were always good. We just didn't get the Super Bowl, or would you rather have the trajectory that Doug Peterson is on right now, that we have won and we basically are kind of a middle of the road team every other year? So basically, would you rather have Andy Reid right now? That situation.
Yeah.
I
think part of Andy Reid, like going toward the end of his Eagles tenure, was more personnel and players. I mean, at that point, like, yeah, we had Michael Vick and we were doing well. We actually went to the playoffs that year. I think Michael Vick's first full year starting. And then we lost in the first round. And then after that, I think we had a bad season. That's when he left. He needed a break because of his whole family situation and just needed to get out. But if you look at the way he's been able to build up the Chiefs since then, to then bring them to the Super Bowl, I mean, if you look at it, after a couple of years of like downtime for the Eagles, we started to get the personnel to come in and really make a change back to being a good team again. So I wouldn't be able to say oh, only Doug would have been able to win a Super Bowl with the team that we had. I feel like Andy could have too. Yeah, I mean, Andy wouldn't have let go of Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy. We still would have had all those guys, and
I
then
mean, who knows though? Because he did get rid of Dawkins and McNabb. So
true. I was
I
very
mean,
heartbroken for that
that
Dolphins
yeah.
one.
Well, yeah, McNabb was kind of whatever. It is what it is. I guess like he didn't do anything after he left, but
He did it.
Dawkins had some years left in him.
Yeah, he was
He
with the
played.
Broncos, and the Broncos get all the retired players. Like they get all the retired legends.
Facts though. Why? So he says with this fan base, it wouldn't even matter. Big facts. It don't matter. If we not winning, we're mad. Shout out to Drew Anderson, says Doug P era. I'll take it. Breeze Super Bowl window closing. He better make something shake. That's a big fact. Big fact. He says Wentz will have a good game, but it won't be the best game the rest of the year. But it will be a good one. What do y'all think? So what do you think about Wentz? How do you think Wentz is going to look today?
I think I'm hoping he looks good. Like I said, he's had a week off. He can digest, slow down for a second. I saw that he got to go hunting. I know that's something he likes to do. Got to be with his family, his daughter. So maybe being able to kind of mentally slow down and just be like, all right, we made it through there. Let me take this break. Let me make sure my body's good. I think this is going to be a good week. I mean, it could go both ways. It could either we start off super slow because it's after the bye week, or we come out on fire because we're good, we're healed, we're a little healthier, and just mentally better at this point, maybe.
Yeah, I'm on the fence because it's like, yeah, we're getting all our players back, but he hasn't been able to play with some of these guys for like weeks on end. So you definitely have to, build that chemistry back up. But I think it's going to be. I think he's going to do really well. I think he's going to finally have people out there he can trust. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll do well. Wise Sway, did y'all get the new Xbox or PS5? First of all, I would never play a PlayStation. Me and my roommate did get the new Xbox, but I haven't even played it yet, to be honest. I haven't done anything on it. Jason says, hey, Brandon, easy on the Broncos. Chill out. Doug tries to be like Andy Reid too much. Like they both only want to pass the ball deep and they both barely run the ball. It's facts, though. It's so weird because it's like with Doug, and I think Infamous said this earlier. It's like when it's a close game or when we're building some type of energy, he just like abandons everything that goes right once something goes wrong. And it could not even be on the offensive side. Like the defense could just have a bad drive and give up a touchdown. And that's it. We forget we have running backs. It is all on Carson now. We're throwing it 50 times a game. Yeah. I do not get it. That needs to end. Over under on 1.5 turnovers. It better be under. What do you
under? I'm praying for under. I'm not even going to say the other word. I'm just going to say.
Are we
under.
saying both teams? Are we saying both teams, Bobby? I need you.
You know what Bobby's talking about.
If we're talking just Eagles, it better be under. If we're talking about both teams, man, Danny Jones is a fumble machine, man. On the bright side of the Eagles, do bad. At least the NBA starting up soon because the Sixers look good. I'm not gonna bring up who I'm a fan of. Actually, I am Brooklyn. Let's go. It's gonna be a fun year. I'm excited for the NBA. We're gonna probably start bringing up some NBA talk on here. I've been talking with Philly Take with RB. We might do some stuff for y'all. So if that's something y'all want to see, just let me know. Like, let me know in the comments, and we'll definitely get some stuff going. Fly Eagles fly. Time to shine and get this dub. That's a big fact. That is a big fact. Doug's situational coaching is terrible.
But yes, when the game is in the middle of the game, when the game's on the line for some reason, when we've been making these comebacks, it's like the best play calls I've ever seen. So Doug's weird. Doug's a weird coach. We start the game fast paced.
We end the game fast paced. Why don't we do it in the middle? I think you both just said the same thing. There you go. That's the truth, man. It's just got to be consistency. We have all these people might have to unsub since you play Xbox. My bad, bro. My bad. But no, we see the same things happening every game. And it's like, if we're seeing it, I'm sure, other coaches are seeing it. I'm sure our coaches are seeing it. So it has to change. It has to, get better. But I want to ask you this real quick. which returning player do you think is going to have the best game? Do you think it's Alshon, Jalen, Miles? Who do you think is really going to stand out today?
I think Miles. I think Philly media, everyone Philly has been emphasizing the run. And I think sometimes that gets into Doug's head. So then he could be like, well, I ran the ball a lot. Like when he gets on his radio show on Monday mornings. But I think that if we can be consistent with the run and Miles stays healthy throughout the game, and this is, I feel like every time we play the Giants, he's not there. So I'm thinking that he's going to have a good game today. And not only just running, we got to get the screen game going. And I think the screen game, Miles is good at too. And he's good at doing the wheel route. So I think all around Miles, I think he's going to have some decent yardage, both running and receiving.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think Jalen Rager's that guy. I'm looking to see Rager really have a big game. I think you have two threats on the outside. This is his time to prove that he's, Deshaun Jackson-esque. Because, when you put Deshaun Jackson in the slot, you know what happens. That boy be eating up defenses. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. He says Dallas Goedert, and the reason why is because I looked at our passing chart. 83% of our mid-tier throws also goes to our tight end.
My man's got the stats.
Yeah, my man's got some.
And we got
stats.
What's his name, Caleb Wilson coming up. I know he's hyped up. So some of the players that are able to get to the roster, they have a chip on their shoulder. They all hyped up and want to prove that they belong there. But Richard Rodgers has been doing pretty solid too.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson's dad is our defensive line coach.
Well, there it is. His dad better be telling him what to do every day. Hey.
Yeah, seriously, maybe he's like a really good blocker because of that. What app do y'all use to watch games? Because I'm in Texas, I have to watch the Panthers game. I use this thing called Dofu apps.
I use Buff Streams.
Yeah, Buff Streams.
If you Google Buff Streams, yeah.
There's a lot of DM me on Instagram. You got my Instagram, and I'll send you some links. Got you, Brody. I got you. On offense, I like Goddard. On defense, I want a little risk, and I say Rodney McLeod.
That ain't risky.
He's
been solid.
Yeah, I like Rodney McLeod, and I like our linebackers, man. I'm hoping,
I was big on TJ Edwards from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm hoping Alex Singleton and TJ Edwards can ball out again, man. They were looking good.
I still don't really like Duke Riley, but it is what it is.
Yeah, does he even really play? Just keep Kayvon out there, keep Will Parks out there, let them boys eat. Because Will Parks really hasn't done anything anyways. But
he had a big tackle last game in the backfield, but then he also almost lost us the game against the Giants. He got burned by Evan Ingram. It's like, bro, you're a safety and your yardage back. How does the tight end beat you deep? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Evan Ingram's athletic and fast for a tight end, but still, you're behind. You know the game's on the line. Don't get beat. Come on, especially by a tight end.
Come on. Come on. Yeah, no, we need to get better. So who do you think today has the most approved, man? Who's on that? I don't want to say even hot seat because this should just be a good game. But who do you think has the most approved today? And we're not going to say Wentz. We're going to get away from Wentz.
Cool. I'm going to get in my Philly Notion bag, and I'm going to say coaching. I'm going to say Doug Peterson and the play calling. It's all on Doug. Doug's the one that calls the offensive plays. He's not like Matt Nagy. He hasn't given up the play calling for this week. So it's going to be on Doug. I want to see if the plays don't work out, then that's on the players. But I want to see what the play calling is. If I see one of those weird 2-point conversions where there's 3 offensive linemen and Jalen Hurts has to do something there, I think that's dumb. I hate that play call. But if I see like him actually calling running plays and consistent and just and good passing routes where when they show the replay and we're looking at it, it's like, oh, damn, that's on Carson or that's on the offensive line. That's not on Doug. Then we can give him a pass. But I think he's one that needs to prove that he can call a good game, a consistent game, and make changes at halftime to be unpredictable and to make the necessary changes to win this game, a game that we have to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I think somebody said this on our show, but I can't remember now. But I want to say JP, man. I think JP has a lot to prove. I think he got to prove that he's worth that money we gave him. And I don't know. He had one good game. I'll say that. He had one good, decent
He's
game.
another one. He got to heal up. He got to chill. I think
Exactly.
he hunts too. So maybe he took a break. I think he has a big farm or something like that. Some of these guys are country boys.
Yeah, go kill some chickens,
Maybe that's Fletcher Cox. I forget. Yeah,
Yeah, Fletcher. I know Fletch likes to. Let's go
yeah.
Eagles. Big shout out to Kev Thomas. Yes, sir. Javon Hargrave has been the most disappointing signing this free agency. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, where has he really been? Was he kind of like able to really shine on the Steelers because the Steelers overall with Watt and Dupree and all those boys, was he able just to like kind of like a Byron Maxwell, how Byron Maxwell stood out in the Legion of Doom or whatever, and then we signed him for big money and then he stunk it up. It could be something similar to that where this player was good, but that's because he had great players all around him. Not saying that we don't with Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham killing it, but I mean, I feel like both the defensive tackle spot hasn't really been like huge, but maybe some of those things I would have to go back and really look at it and see, are they the reason why Brandon Graham's been able to get around, or Josh Sweat or Derek Barnett or any of the defensive ends? Like maybe they're the reason why some double teams are happening and they're holding people up for other players to get through. So it's a team sport.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up with him. Maybe it's. I know he changed defenses. I believe the Steelers were 3-4. I could be wrong. I think they are, but I think that he played a lot more nose tackle when he was with the Steelers. And like you said, they have a lot of great linebackers. They have a lot of great defensive linemen. We do too. We have a good D line. We don't have the the linebackers, you know. And I think that hinders you as a defensive lineman when you have to account for both the run and the pass. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier said than done. You know what I mean? Like they're playing side to side a lot more often than you would want them to, especially when you're not blitzing anyone. You're just playing four men. You kind of want those four guys to just go right after the quarterback or just disrupt things in the backfield, which they're not really able to do because they're getting beat on the corner. So they're playing more side to side. So we'll see. I definitely think Javon Hargrave he could be another guy that has the most to prove. He
Right.
definitely has to figure it out because we gave him some money, man. We definitely gave him some money.
Now, while we're on the defensive talk, do you think that we need to watch out for some more Daniel Jones designed runs? Because yeah,
I
he
think
tripped
the
himself,
ground does.
but he tripped himself up. But um, I mean, that was still 80 yards from a quarterback. So is there something that you're looking forward to the defense to kind of slowing him down and getting to Daniel?
I don't want to say put a spy on him because I don't think it's that serious. But if it is, put a spy on him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he really is gonna just keep right, because he's not gonna. Our defensive line should dominate their offensive line, you know, and they've got a semblance of a run game back. So I don't think that they're gonna be really relying on Daniel Jones. Don't get me wrong, they don't have Saquon Barkley, so they don't have that run game. But
Right.
they've been able to figure some things out with Wayne Gallman, figure some things out with that offensive line that has given Gallman some space. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be really looking to use or to win with Daniel Jones, I should say. I think they're going to really try and slow the pace down, try and run on us. I think we're like bottom 20 in defense in running stop. So a running defense, I should say. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm sure someone will. But I know our rush defense is not what it was last year or even in the past. So I think if I'm them, I think the smart thing to do is use your running game, which you've kind of gotten going, and kind of use Daniel Jones as like a secondary option if you can, hope that your defense can slow down our offense and that, it'll be a close game. I don't see him being a real big factor. I think that was one big play and
Right.
we see how that happened. You know what I mean? But he has the potential to do it. He definitely has the potential to do it. Says trade Barnett, start Josh Sweat, especially with Barnett going to cost a lot of money and Sweat still on a rookie deal. Agree or disagree?
I mean, at the end of the day, like I can agree to that in a sense because if you can get a nice piece or you then yeah, but he was a first round draft pick. And so you would have to tread lightly on what you can get in return because then you just don't want to be known as the whiffs on these first round picks. That being said, the only hesitating part about it is he might be wanting a lot, but maybe there could be the negotiations of him not producing to that kind of pay. It's not like he's putting up astronomical numbers. He's been injured. He's given up quite a few penalties. He tends to do that after the whistle hitting and all that. So I feel like there could be some negotiations there, but it's also good to have the depth. It's good to have like the rotation of Derek Barnett and then Josh Sweat's like, damn, like it's not going to suck because we're not putting in a true number 2 or 3. We're putting in 2 guys that can be starters. And so I think they play well off each other. I think when we get Jernard Avery back from injury, he's another one that's high motor that gives Brandon Graham a break. So I like the depth that we have. But if you can get a good value for a guy like Derek Barnett, then yeah, sure. But if it's just like a middle of the pack trade, then I feel like that'd be a wasted of a first round pick.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, I like Derek Barnett. You know, I think he has a good skill set. I just don't feel like he's diversified that skill set at all. You know, and you can attribute it to that he's been injured a lot or whatever you want to say, but he needs more moves. You know, it's cool that you can dip that far, bro. Like that's really cool. You can get that low and bend the corner, but sometimes that's not going to work. You know,
Right.
and people are going to figure out ways to stop you from doing that. So he needs to just, you know, diversify what he can do. You look at Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham's having a major year for him. You know, this is probably his best year as an Eagle statistically.
Right.
So that's huge. You know, if he can extend his career and have a good more like 2 more years for us, I wouldn't be mad at losing Barnett. You know, I wouldn't be, and especially if we can get something back for him. Because while you said he hasn't been, you know, the best player and he hasn't really been a bust, you know what I'm saying? And he's a good talent. And we'll see what his contract is. I know we can pick up the 5th-year option for like 10 mil. I'm not really willing to pay him that much. So it would have to be what's it called? I just got a message and it just threw off my whole I just got a text
And be
and it
like
threw my
that.
whole mindset off.
And
What
be
was I
like
gonna
that.
say? Oh, damn. What
Something
was I
about
gonna say?
Derek Barnett.
But yeah, if we can get something good for him, if we can get a good return on him, I wouldn't be mad. Why so he said I sent you a message on Instagram. Once I'm off here, I'll send it to you. I can't send it right now, but once I'm off here, I got you, bro. 100% agree with the Barnett thing. That one game that he had against Washington, he looked good, but that was all. Yeah, he's just very inconsistent. Very consistent. How long do we wait is the question. You know, you can ask that question with a lot of people.
All right.
Looking back, it feels like we maybe have given up on Razul a little bit too early, or maybe even Sydney. We'll see how that, you know, pans out, or KC Tuhill maybe, you know. So it's a tough decision, you know. Hindsight is 2020. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yes, sir.
So, what are some of your keys to victory for today?
I mean, I feel like this is what we've been stressing today was running the ball, coaching, and stopping their run. I mean, their pass offense isn't the scariest. I mean, Sterling Shepard, he's he's decent, and Darius Slayton, he can get open deep. But I feel like our DBs have been playing well, at least so far. Like someone said earlier, it could be fraud stats because of who we played so far. But let's keep the fraud stats going. This is a team that we can keep those stats going. So why not do it? This is our chance to really prove that, all right, this division's ours, and let's get some momentum going for next week when we play the Browns. That should be our next step test. We shouldn't have to take a step back by losing today or playing way too close for comfort. But yeah, it's running the ball, coaching, and stopping the run.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it comes down to both lines, to the defense and the offensive line.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We have to dominate both sides of the line of scrimmage. Comes down to, like you said, the running game, and it comes down to Carson Wentz making the right decisions. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Like, and
Yep.
we keep saying no turnovers, and that's cool. It is what it is. Just make the right decisions. Sometimes things don't go right. Sometimes you try to make a play that, you know, just doesn't go the way you plan it to be. But if
Right.
you're making the correct decision, if you're trying to, you know, put your players in position to make good plays, I'm not going to be mad at you. You know, you have good receivers. Travis Fulgham, I feel, has proven that he's a very, very solid, at the very least,
Right.
wide receiver. We know what Alshon can be if that's what he's going to be if he's 100%. And Jalen Reagor has shown that he can be a solid wide receiver, and we have players beyond that. So if Alshon doesn't work out, we can still throw in Greg Ward, who has shown his ability.
Right.
Goddard's back; he has ability. So at this point, we don't need you to win the game, Carson. We just need you to. I don't even want to say manage. We just need you to make the right decisions, play the game the way that it's playing out. That's really what it comes down to, at least for me.
I hear that. But we need to win this game.
Oh yeah. So what are some of your biggest concerns moving forward?
I brought it up earlier today at the beginning of the segment about Jake Elliott. I think you might be right. Maybe he does need to get in there on the 4th and 3 on the 25-yard line instead of going for it. Let's just kick the field goal, get the points, especially early on in the game. But the fact that he's the worst graded kicker in the NFL, we need to either get his confidence back or really realize, all right, this might be our final season with Jake Elliott and might have to cut bait with him unless it's a big cap hit or there's that penalty or whatnot. I don't know what his contract looks like, but we need to start getting him into momentum because especially if we're looking in the playoffs and we're looking later down the season, field goals are going to be huge. We're going to need points, even at the extra points. We can't be missing those. Those are all points that we need. So I think my biggest concern is Jake staying at where he is at as the worst graded kicker and not getting any better because those are 3 points at minimum or at maximum that we're going to be missing if he keeps missing easy field goals. I forgot what team it was. Was it the Giants or was it the Cowboys where he shanked a 20-yard field goal, something super easy, and he's just looking oh, I don't know. It's I need him to be better.
Yeah, and he has looked pretty bad. I just want to win, man. That's really all I could think of. My biggest concern right now is
getting closer to the time.
You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest concern right now is that we're gonna lose, and if we lose, it's not gonna look good. Now, I keep hearing this guy's name. I want to know who the heck Michael Jacquet is. I only saw him for a couple plays. Y'all gonna have to really fill me in, huh? Yeah, I only saw him a couple plays.
You know what the good thing was is that we didn't see him on TV a lot. That's because he wasn't getting beat deep. That's because there wasn't some big play against him. So if he's out on the field and I don't see him, that's a good thing.
That's a fact. I mean, I just want to know what's up with this guy. He says he's 6 feet. Hey,
he has a cool name.
Down with it.
I wonder if they named him Michael because it kind of sounds like Michael Jackson, Michael Jacquet.
He says it's windy, so I hope we run the ball and more screens and motions with Jalen Reagor.
It's windy. Carson better know how the wind works.
Facts.
The ball.
Facts. He's gonna be throwing up some ducks. Limit Wentz deep ball risks. If we want to expect no turnovers, then you have to limit the deep balls. That's true. He says Cody Parkey is better Jake Elliott. I don't know about that, man. I mean, he won us games when he was on the Browns, so that is pretty good. Big cap hit for Jake. That's true, too. We paid Jake, man. Jake got some money.
Jesus.
Remember in training camp, we heard Andre Dillard getting beat by Josh Sweat. Now that we see Josh Sweat is dominating every top 10 left tackle, y'all think Dillard could be better than our fan base feels. I think we
hasn't got
really give him a chance. Yeah, we saw when he played. Wow,
he got hurt.
Yeah, we saw when he played. Other than that Seattle game when we moved him to the other side, he played well. In my opinion, I think he played very well. But we're in a good position right now. I mean, we're gonna get to pick between him and Jordan Mailata. That's not a bad decision. I think that's the thing.
I think sometimes when opportunities strike, and it's a little bit more fun and exciting seeing the big rugby player from Australia come in and was playing well at left tackle. Yeah, we had our first round pick get hurt, but a story like Jordan is sometimes more compelling and more fun than Dillard, who is just a draft pick. So, I mean, Dillard, I think he can be better, but then it'll be like you just said, Castro, is just who's it going to be? Is it going to be Andre or is it going to be Jordan? One of the two is going to be this left tackle starting probably next year. I don't see Jason coming back. Maybe we say that the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped right now. We're gonna read a couple more comments, then probably get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Start getting ready for the game. Michael Jacquet is a rookie, okay, but he looks good. He ain't let Amari beat him and almost got a pick too.
See,
Michael Jacquet, he was a top 10 corner that went undrafted in college.
ooh,
That's crazy. Evan Ingram runs a 4.42. I still can't believe a tight end is that fast. Big facts. Big facts. Big
okay,
facts.
so maybe he is faster than Will Parker. So if you know that, then don't sit back and start backing up. Don't
I mean,
wait for him to get on you.
he has like, I think he's like top 5 in drops right now as well. So he has, you know, you can be as fast as you want. If you're not gonna pick the ball up, then you know,
Right.
Nelson Aguilar. You know, it is what it is. Daniel Belfield. I'm excited to watch some Eagles football. Shout out to you too for putting the streams together. Hopefully the game is not stressful and we get this win.
Yes,
You read my mind.
sir.
You read my
Yes,
mind.
sir.
That's all I can ask for. I just don't want to be, you know, listen, I'm a Penn State fan. This has been the worst football like start of my life. Like, you know, especially for them. You know, the one bye week, they just make me depressed even more. I need the Eagles to just bring me out of the depths of misery right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we need this win. They are not a good team. And 9 in a row feels really good. 9 in a, you know, it will be really nice to have 9 in a row. He pretty much John Hightower in the Ravens game. He fast, can get open, but drops it. No shade because I like Hightower. I like Hightower. I said it in the beginning of the year, and I think I was like the first on this train. Like after his first game, he only had like 3 or 4 catches, but I saw that he got open. He got open like nothing else. He just was not aggressive enough at the catch point. I think that bomb that he got against the Giants was a very good sign because you saw he not only caught the ball, tracked the ball, he was able to keep himself upright and get some more yards after the
Right.
catch. So that showed a lot of aggression at the catch point, which I was looking for. So if he can continuously better, but Booby wasn't Booby when he first started with the Eagles. He made a lot of mistakes. So, you know, if these kids are going to grow, that's what we need. It's not about
It's about the
seeing the
experience. They're not going to come in and look like Randy Moss off the rip. Like they need to develop. This is the perfect year for development for some of these guys. I was listening to TV this morning on SportsCenter, and they were right about the young guys coming in the league this year because this year you don't have thousands and thousands of fans booing if you make a mistake. Away games don't really feel like away games because like of the no fans. You have a chance to really just practice and develop and get into the groove of things and really know like, all right, this is NFL, I can do this. And then next year there'll be louder noises and hopefully cheers for big plays. Hightower wasn't supposed to come in and be a top dog wide receiver right now for us. That wasn't the plan when it was drafted. We were supposed to have other people, but hey, he's developing on the fly, and you like to see it. You like to see that he's getting these chances, and Carson's giving him the chances. Carson didn't give J. Jaw any chances, maybe because he wasn't getting open at all, but I feel like the ball never went his way. At least you know the ball is going to Hightower's way, at least once a game.
Yeah, no, it's all about building that confidence. I think as far as Carson's gonna have people he can feel confident in. Give Hightower time. I agree. So last thing we're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do, man.
Oh God!
Actually,
I was almost right. I was almost right last time.
You were very close.
I was off by 1 point on each side.
Yep. So you know, maybe you got some good luck. So what's up, man? Maybe this is the week we're both not off completely.
Yes, sir. All right, I know. Score prediction. I'm gonna go 28-10 Eagles. Okay. Big game for us. Big game on the defense. We're not gonna play this close game. We can't afford it. I'm gonna go 28-10. It's probably gonna be a close game, but whatever.
I'm gonna go 35-17.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 35-17. Eagles are gonna win. I think Carson's gonna have a huge game. Kev Thomas says 31-17.
I thought about saying 31.
Everybody drop your score predictions because you know we're gonna go back to this. And if somebody gets it, if you get it on the head, I'll send you like $20 or something. If you get it exactly on the head. So far we got
I'm holding you to that. What I say, 28?
You're not getting the money. You're not getting the money. 31-17. We got 24-10. We got 23-17. Or no, he says. So he has two. I'll give you two. He says if one thing happens, 28-14, 23-17, basically the same thing. So I'll give you that. I'll let you rock with that. So yeah, man. But other than that, man, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, bro?
We need this dub. Let's go get it. Let's go cheer for our birds from our couches because, I mean, that's all we can do during COVID times. But, hey, let's go birds.
Let's get it. And before we do go, we do have some more collabs coming up. We do have Lord Brunson coming on the channel. I know that it's been rescheduled a million times, but we are both grown men with a whole lot to do. So sometimes it gets a little bit, mangled, but we are going to make it up to you. It's going to be an amazing live, and we are going to have probably an even better special guest with us. So we'll leave that up in the air. You guys guess, but we getting a post game live from y'all. Maybe if we feeling good, you know what I'm saying? Maybe depends on how.
Well, it depends. If we lose, it might be a cooking channel. So unless you're trying to learn how to cook up some food, then,
if it's a loss, you might just get a bunch of memes and crying. But facts, let's eat this W, y'all. Let's eat this W.
We just lost now because we did that.
I know. Oh God. The curse of the W. But no, yeah, we're gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody. Oh, and thank you guys for 700, man. That means so much to us, bro. We only started this like seriously like 3-4 months ago, and it's like blowing up. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. So yeah, but other than that, you know what it is, man. It's Fly Eagles Fly, and we out here. Peace.